What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? And welcome if it's your first time viewing. Welcome back if you're returning. I'm the Nappy Dreamer.
And I am Kia Blank.
And we are
And we are
the Melanin
the
Mindset.
Melanin Mindset. Yeah,
Bruh.
that.
Can you hear me, friend?
Can you hear me?
Barely.
Barely?
Barely.
That's
Let us
tragic.
know out there if you can hear us. If you are hearing us, go ahead. What they say back in the day, if you can hear my voice clap once, if you can hear my voice clap twice.
Oh yeah, when the class was out of control.
Right? Let
Can you
us
hear
know if
this?
y'all can hear us. Do 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 do.
Jimmy
All right,
Jimmy said yes.
hello,
Wanda
ladies.
said yes. Hey
Y'all.
Scarlett.
All right, great. We got a clap out there. All right, y'all.
Do
So
I
listen
sound better?
to that thing that I do, huh?
Do I sound better?
Yeah, you
Or
sound
is it
about it.
still coming in? I don't know why. You didn't say nothing before.
Because I couldn't tell before. Anywho, so and I told you my sound is acting up. It look like I got spiders up here. Anyway, friend, let's go ahead and get started. It don't matter. It don't matter. All right, so listen. If you're not already plugged in with us at everywhere that you can be plugged in, please go ahead and find us on YouTube, The Melanin Mindset. Subscribe and turn on those notifications so you can be among the first to know when The Melanin Mindset goes live. Find us out on Facebook, The Melanin Mindset. We are on Instagram as well as Twitter at Melanin Mindset _. And y'all, we out there vibing on the good tickle to talk, y'all. Tickle to talk at The Melanin Mindset. You do want to plug in. You don't want to miss out. All right, so if you have the opportunity, just go to connect with us wherever we are plugged in, and we can't wait to get connected to y'all, friend. So before you do that thing that you do, I do have a question,
Mm.
and I warned you that I had a question before we were getting started. So
Okay, I'm ready.
all right, so and it's stupid too. So I was listening to the radio,
You see
right?
me like I'm about to jump in double dutch?
Listen, I was driving my husband to work tonight, and on the radio, somebody made a comment, and I felt like the comment came across really, really stupid. All right. So what they
Okay.
said was, you're not only the best in the world, you're the best on this planet. And I thought to myself,
Why are we this way? Because that should have just rolled past. It should not have caused you to stop at all. But no, not you. You had to analyze the entire statement.
I think it's this. She said she was making a comment to somebody. I guess somebody she was giving a shout out to or whatever. She was like, you're not just the best in the world, you're the best on this planet. And I thought to myself, I thought Earth is the world, right?
Which is the planet, which is the world, which is the planet. Yeah.
So those weren't higher praises. That was
They were not.
praise,
They were not.
right?
It was.
And
No,
y'all,
you're not
you
tripping.
out there and you disagree, I'm down to argue. But at the same time, it's the same thing.
It's that whole thing that goes back to like you could be passionate, but you could be passionately wrong. Because I'm pretty sure she meant it with her whole heart. Like it was supposed to mean something else. But
she was like, you're not only the best in the world, you're the best on this planet. I was like, it's the same thing, sis. But who am I, right? Who am I? So that was all that I had was to ask you, like, am I bugging?
Yeah,
like, am I tripping?
Leave that girl in her planet world Earth alone. So listen, today, guys, what we are here to talk about is boundaries and setting boundaries in your life. So, we love us a good definition over here. So we have defined boundary as a line that marks the limits of an area, a dividing line, or a limit of a subject or sphere of activity. For the sake of this episode, we are defining boundaries as the limits we set ourselves around what we will and will not tolerate.
And I will not tolerate her saying planet and world as if it is two different things. Boundary number 1. So now that we got that out of the way, friend, do you feel like diving? Do you feel like diving?
So boundaries is something I feel like, and I'm just gonna say, I feel like 99% of the black women I know do not know how to set firm boundaries. I
Facts.
believe as the generations are coming along, they are learning much better. But if you go back to like our grandmothers and our great grandmothers, like total, most of the time they were peacekeepers and people pleasers, which means their boundaries were not always clear. Yeah, am I loud now? Did you
No,
have to take the headphones? Oh,
no, it's
okay.
still not connected. Y'all bear with me because my ponytail was too tight and I couldn't. I'm not. That's a boundary. I'm drawing a boundary. Okay.
I'm a Nissy. I feel like my friend is gonna abuse this term boundary, so I'll apologize for her in advance. But anyway, friend, do you ever find yourself in any of these categories of what is considered to be someone who may lack boundaries? People who lack boundaries tend to take on other people's problems.
Hmm.
Not really good at utilizing the word no. Tend to be called people pleasers, peacekeepers. They can be indecisive because they're trying to decide, I don't want to hurt this person if I do it this way, but then I might have to do it this way so that this person is happy. So it's hard for them to make decisions. And they sometimes suffer from guilt or things like that. Now, I could say that you might be a person who has very firm boundaries, but sometimes you still could fall under these categories of not having clear boundaries. Do you agree?
I agree. I
Yeah.
think I'm a good example, but I'm gonna let you keep going, and then I guess I'll pick on myself in a second.
Yeah. And then sometimes people who are very firm in their boundaries could be called word I won't use because apparently I got a slick mouth and we don't have the buzzer thing yet. And they could be considered mean or standoffish or detached. And
Jackrabbits.
mm, and so I don't know, like I don't know. So I feel like I have clear boundaries when it comes to certain things. And then there is a lot just being a mother and a wife and a female period that I probably haven't set such clear boundaries on.
I can definitely give you kudos when it come to your kids. Your boundaries is crystal clear. Um, y'all want a story time? Nah, let me stop.
Oh no! I
Oh
do believe mine
boy,
has very clear boundaries with my. I agree.
my
I
boundaries for
agree.
my kids is crystal clear. I would say my boundaries when it comes to engaging or interacting, like my husband, of course, can have friends. Like I told y'all, I don't have no real beef with the female friend situation. I just needed to be clear where they fall. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
So I have very
Yeah.
clear boundaries in my marriage. Like I am
Hmm.
quick to tell my husband, no, we're not, or this ain't gonna do. You know?
Hmm.
The boundaries or expectations are very clear there. But when it comes to my work life, not so much. Or my personal life outside of my marriage, not so much. I definitely do not have healthy boundaries when it comes to my personal time and my work life. I don't have
And that's
very, um,
I
or
feel like
clear.
that's something that a lot of people need to work on because what happens, especially in work and not having boundaries at work because of whatever reasons, it tends to overflow into your personal life. And then that tends to suffer because you're not setting firm boundaries for your work life.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, like if you're somebody who you're staying overtime, you're helping extra in areas that may not be within your job description because you're trying to look good for the boss, but in turn, if you don't have the type of boss that's seeking out to see that you're doing good, but you're doing exactly what they need you to do, they're going to suck you dry. They're going to keep using you and using you and using you because you feel like I'm trying to get in good, but all they see is, oh, well, he want to do it. I'm not going to tell him not to, or she want to do it. I'm not going to tell her not to, especially if it's helping them look good.
That part, helping them
That's usually what it is.
money, right? Bringing in more money,
Mhm.
more revenue to them. Before we dive into that question, though, If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that share button and share this with someone you care about so that they can join in and tell us whether they feel they have healthy boundaries. All right. Um, but no, you're absolutely right, friend. When it comes down to that, I do see a lot of people like I work in corporate America. And
Mhm.
so there are opportunities in some places and there are not opportunities in others. And it's like
Okay.
you'll know that there's not an opportunity in this area, but then you see people busting their behind to get to this area. And it's like, but there's no space in that area. There are no openings in that space. You get what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
it's like you're pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to look great for what? Like do good at what you do, well at what you do, but it's
Yeah.
like are you really breaking yourself for no reason? Like are you breaking yourself on the wing and the prayer that if and when something opens, you're next in line?
Mhm.
Yeah, like is that what you're doing? What's good, MF? Or what's good?
There there's been plenty of movies that have shown that that's not the route to go. You know those movies with the life lesson, how you wasted your time, or being at work all the time, overtime, just for the boss's nephew to get the position you were gunning for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, had
Yes.
you had you set those healthy boundaries to begin with, like as far as this is my time, I don't work for anybody now, but when I did, you better not call me before it was time for me to clock in. I, I had a little grace. If it was 15 minutes before I was supposed to clock in, I would answer. But no, if I'm not here, no, I didn't get the email. I just got here. How did I get the email? I just got here. And then I worked at night. So I don't and I was part-time. So I didn't know what in their head make them think that I was doing anything that had to do with that place when I wasn't there. They would be like, "Yeah, did you see the email? I'm just walking in, still got all my stuff in my hands." No, I did not.
Oh man.
Once
So
I
anybody
clock in, I will see said email.
how many people do we have out there viewing who feel the same way? I'm gonna raise my hand because I'm absolutely an advocate for that. Now, will I have my moments where I might stay a little extra? Only if
Mm,
it's benefiting me. You get what I'm saying? If it's benefiting me, yes. But if it's anything where that time clock is not ticking, 9 times out of 10, you won't find me.
yeah. Like
Okay,
it's
that's
not it's
just
for your personal gain, but not for like you kissing somebody's butt.
right. Not the case. Now will I go above and beyond at a task that I'm doing? Yeah, and the only reason is because I'm a perfectionist that way.
Yeah, you get passionate about the task you do.
Yeah, it's just I'm a perfectionist that way. It's not to impress anybody. People just happen to get impressed.
Hmm.
It's not to impress anybody though.
And you be
Absolutely.
shocked. And you be shocked. That's the funny part. You're like, she said I did so good. I was singing it.
Listen, because I mean, I finish and I know I put my time in. Listen, I know I put in the work,
Mhm.
but then I get finished and I still find something wrong with it. And then you turn it in, people are like, oh my gosh, it's so great. And I'm like, did they not realize that my timing was off at this point or that this was not right at this point? And that's just how my brain works. So, but I don't have the healthy boundaries in the sense when it comes to work because I will take on more than I need to take on. Does that make sense?
Mm. Mhm.
Like I'll have two deadlines on my plate and then I'll pick up two more. But why?
Mm.
So those aren't
Maybe you
healthy.
need an extra hobby. I
That
feel
part.
like it's not. I don't feel like you think, but why? You probably think, why not?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's why you need another hobby. So you could be like, oh no, I don't have time for that.
I can't do no
Because
more
you,
hobbies, friend. We got t-shirts, we got a podcast. I work full
it's true.
time.
It's true.
Bro, hair
But
and
it's
makeup. Mm-mm. We ain't got no more time. Time is
I'm
done.
so good.
Time is spent.
They always say if you want something done, give it to a busy person. That's why we always go, why not?
Yeah. If my boundaries aren't healthy, it's only unhealthy for the other party. Ooh, ooh. Listen, you gotta, what's that one song? You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to
Uh-huh.
hand.
Uh-huh.
Right. And so it's like you
So
gotta know, huh?
no, go ahead.
Oh, it seemed like he was about to say something, but no, yeah, you gotta know what is okay for you, and like you said, it's not okay for the other person, but you are a okay where you at. Like I feel like that with the boundaries in my marriage, friend. You said that your boundaries. I know your boundaries is clear when it comes to your kids, but what areas? You said there were different types of boundaries. You had
Yeah,
something.
that's what I was gonna say. So I was gonna say, all right, yeah. So it gave us there's 5 different types of boundaries. So the first one I was gonna address was physical. So we have physical boundaries, and it was funny because when it said physical at first, I don't come from like. It's funny because my husband and your family, y'all families are the total opposite. Like we don't hug and kiss when we see each other. You know what I mean? So when I am around people, I even said that when I first started having my kids, was like I had to relax and let my kids hug me because I just didn't come from a hugging, touching family. So physical boundaries, just the thought of a stranger touching me, I'd be like, go straight into self-defense. I'm like, well, partner, why your hands up? You know? Whoa. No, what movie was that? Cusco, no touchy.
No tokas, okay? But no, I'm only affectionate to my family. I'm
Yeah, I
affectionate
do
to
know
my
that. I
husband.
definitely do that. I know that about you.
Yeah, I'm affectionate to my family. Like when my family come around, what's a handshake, y'all? Like I'm
Mhm.
hugging, we kissing on cheeks, we grabbing babies and all of that. My family.
Yeah.
But any no. I'm like, what's her name? What's the mom's name off of the Adams Family? I had played one of them stupid Facebook games, and it was like, I'm approachable, also me, and it showed her the mom from the Adams Family, and she was sitting there like,
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
it's like, huh, what do you mean? I'm absolutely approachable. Then it says also her.
But then, like my husband's, so yours is more of a family thing, the love. Now, my husband's family is more of a cultural thing. Everybody you see, you greet and you hug and you kiss them on the cheek. And it took me quite some time to get used to that. Then, when my kids started dancing, there was a big Spanish community in the dance school, and all of them did the same thing. Like it could be 30 people in the room. When you walk in, you have to hug and kiss everybody in the room and say hello. Thank God COVID came because now people are more leery of doing this because those few years, whew, I'm like, hey,
No, I'm not that person. I'm gonna give you my neck. If I hug you, I'm like, I give you one of
yeah,
them.
yeah.
I was pre-COVID. I still struggled with it. Like
But
I'll
then
hug.
it's like this respect thing because you're like, all right, we know that's the culture around here. So then that comes when like, all right, if it's really making me uncomfortable, I would have to set boundaries, right? But then do you seem rude because it's like, oh well, everybody else, you know?
Uh oh, we got a hand. Is that a hand?
Yes, I'm gonna
Oh,
tell you what that hand is. She gonna hug and kiss. It be 50 people in there. She gonna step over people. She gonna hug and kiss everybody in the room. Who are you? Oh hi, you're not. You're new. Nice hat.
all right. Well, I have a question for Scarlett in that case. So, Scarlett, are you telling me that you don't ever feel uncomfortable at all going through that? Because even in instances where I might make myself do it a little bit, which is another issue, I got my personal boundaries. Okay. Even though I might make myself do it, in some cases, other instances, I'm just like, I'll go wait by the car. Because it's like, I can't right now. Like, I do not feel it in my bones. Let's see here. She says, yeah, if I truly love you, I want to show you and hug and kiss you. Listen, Scarlett, I don't, I have love for everyone, but I do not love to that capacity somebody I don't know. And I'm gonna just be, can I be honest? Don't be laughing, friend. I'm being honest. Like
My
we said
friend
we
could
would
be
be
so
transparent.
cold sometimes. Sis could get so cold sometimes. She'd be like, shit. Her body language and everything will let you know. Don't hug and kiss me. She'd be like, and turn away like you disappeared.
But I'm not proud. That's not the
She'll be
thing.
like,
I'm not proud. It's just that
she'll be
I
like,
can't.
suck.
I would say in my teenage years, my very young adult years, I did not speak
Oh, she
for
did say if it's
myself.
someone I don't know, I won't do it. I'll give him a handshake.
Oh, okay. Oh, hit one of these, girl. Hit one of these.
Yeah.
But it's like in my teenage years and my young adult years, I did not give myself that grace to be able to be okay saying no. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like at this point, I've spent more years in my life bowing and being graceful to others or giving other people what they prefer, that now I done
Mhm.
hit this age and I ain't got time no more. So it's what makes me comfortable. My boundaries exist in that sense. But again, I'll be the person who'll say yes, 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 yes. Somebody called me at 2 in the morning and I'm like, yep,
Yeah.
I'm coming, I'll go.
You
You
know what
know,
else too? Like even as kids, we make little kids go give your auntie a hug. We don't ask them, "Do you want to give your auntie a hug?" Go give so and so a hug. Look, this is Uncle so. Go give him a hug. Like, and as a kid, I can't ever remember feeling like I didn't want to, but I'm pretty sure there are some times where kids just like, no, I don't want to hug them. They stink. They smell funny. I don't know them. They tall. My forehead is gonna be at their crotch. Like, you know.
listen, I told you you were just with me and my family. Um, my cousin, I have a cousin who has children that are smaller, and they don't see me very often. Some
Okay.
visits, some visits, her daughter came, and her daughter will get on my lap, and she'll climb up on my lap and chill out with me. One time, she sat in my lap and went to sleep. This time, when she saw me this past weekend, I was like, "Hey,
Mm-hmm.
babe," I said, "Do you want to give me a hug?" And she was like, "No, thank you." And I said, "And that's okay." And I told her, "And that's okay." And
And
I
that
just
is
kept on
okay.
going. And she eventually turned around and spoke to me. But
I'm
before that,
done.
I did not make her feel it like that's fine. You don't
Yeah.
have to hug me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the bigger ones, I ain't gonna lie, them bigger ones, the 12, 13, and so on, them little ones, I see them, I grab them up and be hugging them. And,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just that. But the little children, I make sure I'm clear. Like, you do not have to hug me, babe. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Them big knuckleheads, they just, they becoming teenagers, so they think they too cool to give you a hug. I ain't got time. Okay. I'm about to
Yeah.
shame you like they used to shame me. Okay. Oh man, look at
So,
this. Scarlett got
uh-huh.
all the comments. Go ahead, friend, read it.
It says, "This is true. I had an uncle that would give me wet kisses. Ugh, and it was nasty to me as a kid. But if I didn't greet him, I was considered rude. Absolutely. And you probably walk, and then you try to walk far enough away so they don't see you wipe your face off."
Listen, I can't think of a time my parents made me give anybody a kiss, but
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, and I can't really say they made me do it. Like I was the kid who, if I found out you were family, I was excited to see you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I
I
just
was
told you I
always,
didn't come from a very affectionate family, so hugging probably wasn't even a thing we did. So that's why I don't remember it being a thing. Like go hug. I don't. We we didn't. I don't know. I guess
oh,
we're all scarred.
can't deal. I can't deal. Listen, friend, it's about that time. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it real quick. So, y'all, listen. We are brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel. Listen, 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 Linda. Listen. We are brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel. If you haven't already gone shopping, y'all, listen. Go out and go shop. 15% off for Melanin Mindset promo code users, or simply click down below in our description box and you will find our ambassador links down in the below, okay, in the down under. So go ahead and click those links, share those links with people you care about because they do indeed sponsor the Melanin Mindset. So with the commercial. Y'all, we'll see y'all in about good 30 seconds, okay?
Okay.
What's good, Mindset family? The Melanin Mindset is thrilled to announce we are the newest brand ambassadors for Dianu Apparel. Dianu Apparel is a black-owned apparel company that offers trendy African-inspired prints in each and every garment. They're offering our listeners 15% off their purchases just by using promo code Melanin Mindset. There's something for him, there's something for her, and there's even something for the kids. So head right over to dianu.com using the description link down below, or just simply enter Melanin Mindset at checkout and save today. Y'all, we back and I'm doing the manual applause tonight. Okay. So y'all go in and give it up one time for
Okay.
one time. Drop some applause down in the chat so that we can be chatted up and applaud up as we come back. So if you haven't,
I
once
got
again,
story time.
oh Lord. Promo code Melanin Mindset, and you can absolutely save 15% on all things clearance included. Friend, before you give them story time, hold on to it because we are on Beyonce's internet, themelaninmindset.org. So go ahead and check out themelaninmindset.org. We do have merch up. We have coffee mugs. We have a t-shirt. This one in particular, I'm absolutely in love with because it says we are not melanin exclusive, but we are melanin centric. Why? We tell the story from a melanated perspective, and that's all we can do,
Mm-hmm.
okay? But just know nobody is excluded over here. If you want to become an official MFer, go ahead and cop your Melanin Mindset t-shirt, okay? Go ahead and cop your Melanin Mindset t-shirt online. And y'all, I know the weather is changing and it's starting to get a little chilly in some places, but if you in good old Florida, or if you out there in Texas, you can still grab your tank top, okay? Because we have all of that live online. And if you want to buy anything smaller, such as a keychain or even a little pen, you can. All right. So go ahead and shop Melanin Mindset, themelanatedmindset.org. Friend, carry on with your story, honey.
So my story actually ties into our brand ambassadorship with Dianu. So
Mm.
Dianu has a new collection out. Guys, if you thought you saw what you saw, there is some really nice new stuff out right now for the fall and the winter. So there's this one collection. I'm like, oh, I'm getting that for my husband and I. We're going to take pictures in this because it is so nice. Well, I have a daughter who is dating, and her boyfriend's anniversary is coming up. Guess what they're doing? They're taking pictures. Guess what she ordered? She ordered the exact outfit I was gonna order and
Hold
take
up.
pictures with my
Did she
husband.
use the promo code?
And she used the promo code.
Y'all give it up for her daughter who used the promo code. If I got any
I
family that's
said,
shopping, y'all not using promo, we got problems.
I remember her asking too, and I didn't even think about it at the time. And then she said, "Oh yeah, we ordered Dianu. We're gonna wear everything." And I said, "Oh, what did you order?" I already knew. I knew that's what she ordered. just throw my whole plan in the trash.
Girl,
Should have
listen,
set some boundaries. I should have told her you're not allowed to order this. Check with me first before you order so we don't have the same outfit.
girl, listen, Dianu, no joke, has like a whole series right now of clothing out for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Mm-hmm.
They have
Oh
a
yeah.
whole, so if you're big on getting ready to really just be Afrocentric, get
And
ready with
represent
Dianu.
this new opening.
Represent.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because it's lit. It's lit. And again, clearance is included. And it's all very much so tied to our culture, African culture. And that's kind of where we all got our get down from. So with that,
Mm-hmm.
it's very tight, to the culture. And learn about the different prints and stuff like that too.
Yeah, that was cool. All right, so back to types of boundaries. So first one was physical. Let's talk about intellectual boundaries. So when I looked this up, just like that girl wanted to say, world, that she believed what she said was true and clear.
Planet
You
versus the
supposed to
world.
you supposed to respect that. Like, okay, so I'm gonna go into
I'm sorry.
intellectual boundaries. Some of the examples I've seen when I was looking this up was like people of different religions. So like if you're amongst let's say I'm gonna just make up something. Let's say you're amongst a friend, you're at a friend's house, and in their religion, they stand up and say a certain chant before they eat. Right?
No,
So
thank you.
in your boundaries, if your religion is opposed to that, how do you still respect that family's boundaries and not be disrespectful?
You speak. You
What do you mean
speak.
speak?
Because what you're not, no, you speak. So as I was growing up, my sister used to have a homie. It was like her best friend, okay? They were Buddhist. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I am not Buddhist. My sister is not Buddhist. But we used to go over to their house all the time. They used to
Mm-hmm.
host, sessions. I don't know the technical terms, so y'all please know I'm not coming for nobody and I'm not trying to be funny. But they
Mm-hmm.
used to host the sessions or whatnot. Sometimes they would be at her house, sometimes they would be other places, and we used to be with them, right? And they would
Mm-hmm.
go. And it was very much so clear that we don't participate in any of this. So we used to sit off to the side. And it was made clear to her friend's mom and her
Yeah.
friend that we don't engage in that. So what it is that you simply say, I don't engage in that. And here's the deal. That's where that mutual respect comes in. Because I
Mm-hmm.
can't say that my faith or belief is superior to yours. You get what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Mm-hmm.
likewise, if I invite you to come to church with me and y'all don't go into a church, well, guess what? I am not going to force you and say, well, if you my friend, you come with me to church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if you was my friend, you take communion. But no, they came. They don't believe that. I'm not gonna force them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's nobody's
Yeah.
place, and that's boundaries on both parts. So
Yeah.
you don't. It's mutual respect. Absolutely not. You can't.
And I feel like if you tried to do it and tried just to appease me, I think I would be more offended from that. Like, now I know, you don't do this. Why would you
Well, now
even
you're making
try?
a mockery of what I believe in, because
Yeah,
you don't
yeah.
believe in
You
none of that,
either making a mockery or you showing yourself to be fake. Like, either both of them is just like, come on.
and I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need it. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
What other kind of boundaries we got, friend?
So we also have sexual boundaries.
Oh,
I think that one's kind of clear. There are
story
things
time.
that you will and won't do. And sometimes especially two adults coming together in a relationship with if they both have a sexual past, there could be some things like that I might be used to, and now my partner that I'm with now be like, whoa, I don't know about that. So,
Yeah.
like, all right, so we know what sexual boundaries are, but like, when do you feel is the appropriate time to set them?
All right, so I have something before I directly answer that question.
Okay,
So
okay.
listen, here we go. Another thing that happened on the radio, y'all. Sorry, but I don't do Sirius XM anymore. I just listen to whatever's on the radio. I don't care. But anyway,
Uh-huh.
here we have a radio show in the morning called Streets Morning Takeover. It is syndicated, so depending on where you're viewing from, you're probably familiar with the Streets Morning Takeover. Okay, so on there they do something called the date dilemma.
Mm.
Girl, this date dilemma happened. And normally the way it gets set up is that one of the parties feels like they got ghosted. So either the guy or the girl or whoever, they feel like they got ghosted by the other person, right? So, girl, why this man called in talk about some he went on a date with her, everything was cool, they had been going to dinner, and all was well or whatever, and they got to the point where it was time to go back, to his place. And he was like, we was doing whatever we do, what grown people do, right? He
Mm-hmm.
said, and so then she just out of nowhere just started acting funny. And I was like,
Oh,
why she acting funny? So
oh,
part of the date dilemma is where Young Jock and the other participants, they call the other party and they be like, hey, this is so and so, and we call them with the streets want to take over and blah 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 blah. So do you know so and so? And she was like, well, yeah, like that. And they're like, well, what happened? We got them, we spoke to them, and they feel like, you ghosted them.
yeah.
He said, you should defend
I think I
yourself.
heard this a couple times when I was up there.
It's like, you should defend yourself because he put your business out in the street. So,
Mm.
they egging it on. Bro, why homegirl talking about some, well, I had been on a few dates with him and all was well, but then we get back to his place and he talking about some, he ready to, do what we do. She said,
Uh-huh.
and how about he gonna turn over on his stomach and scoot his butt up in the air? And I was like, what? And I'm like, huh? This is me in the car. Hmm?
Arr?
She, the girl was like, I'm looking at him like, what he got going on? It got awkward, and it's
Uh-huh.
like he ain't moving. And she was like, he
Mm.
is not moving, and he's just up here tooting his butt up in the air, like, what's going on?
I'm so done.
Girl, why he talk about something? Well, we both grown. So I thought he goes, oh yeah, by the way, he on the phone. And he was like, well, the thing is, we both grown. And I figured, we doing what grown people do. Ain't no limit. Right? She goes, but you need to say something first. You don't just automatically assume that somebody would like to grant that
Yes,
level of favor. And then
yes,
he was
yes.
like, well, I don't know. It looked like you wanted to. So I was trying to let you do it.
So
So
clearly, some boundaries should have been set
there should
somewhere
have been some boundaries
before
because, girl,
they should have been maybe talking a little more about what one like, what one don't like.
but hold
Because
up. How about he talk about she looked like she's somebody who would have did it? How about homegirl talk about some? Oh, yeah, I have before. And he said, oh, and she said, but at least we had a conversation first. So that's a sexual boundary. He was like, at least say something to me if that's what you want me to do. Tell me
well,
that's what you want me to do.
wait. Who says you look like somebody who
That's
would
what the
do
dude
that?
said. The dude said
What?
you look like,
What
he was
does
looking
that
at her
look
lips.
like?
He said, I looked at your lips and it looked like you had some eating lips. His words, not mine. And
Wow.
I was like, quit it. Quit it right now. Right this minute, quit it. And he straight up, homie was so serious. He was like, she looked like she did. So I assume because it looked like, she goes, well, you could at least did me first.
I can't. I'm done. Move on. I can't. I don't even hear
That's
no
how
more of
I
this.
think. So
They
when you
got
say
real, and
a
that's the thing
boundary,
about that show, because the person now feels attacked and they just go at it. They get real savage. Oh my gosh, that's terrible.
one girl
So
talking about
I
she
think
has done it before, but she had a conversation prior to doing it before. She didn't
so I
just do
think
it.
the
So
moral of the story is when it comes to
boundaries.
sexual boundaries, please set them before you are butt naked in the bed.
That part, literally, but set those boundaries ahead of time. Those couple of dates that y'all had went on where y'all was really vibing, that was your
Yeah,
chance.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
That was your chance.
before you're face down, ass up. Okay, so another type of boundary is an emotional boundary. And an emotional boundary refers to the person's feelings, either yours or the other person's feelings.
Mm.
So I know this has happened to my friend where everybody's not comfortable with sharing everything. And just because you decide to overshare, and then when I don't decide to share in return, sometimes you can get a certain level of backlash from that. But it's just like,
Girl, an extreme
if
level of
if I
backlash.
share with you, if I decide to tell you, girl, woo, I had da 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 da, and then you just go, oh wow, really? That's fine. But I have seen conversations go left because the other party did not return a horror story. Or you know what I mean? Or that same level of
Or a
excitement,
vacation
or
story, but we're
pour
not
out,
gonna get
or
hooked
they
on it.
didn't decide to pour out their heart back because you poured your heart out to me. Like, you that as you set your emotional boundaries for yourself, like, you have to respect other people's too. They might not want to tell you all their business just because you told me all of yours.
I just got that feedback. Somebody was like, they can look at us on the show, right? And if you watch the show, if you live or if you watch the playback, they were like, girl, they referred to me as I am boisterous or whatever, and I definitely say my piece. I'm gonna say what I got to say, but I'm just not going to say more than I want to say. So it
Yeah.
is clear that I am like, hey, you get this, and I can control what you get, and that's just what it is. And
Mm-hmm.
then they said, but that sometimes I don't know, Kia might not be thinking about what she about to say because she be like, whatever. And she just say what
Yeah.
she got to say. And I said, you know what? And what's really funny is that is absolutely our dynamic in our friendship in real life.
Yeah. In real
I
life,
said
it
because I
definitely
do definitely divulge more to Kia than I do anybody else in my life, but at the same time, we can have whole conversations, and I'll just be like, "All right, bet friend."
is. Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is that we understand each other's methods of communication because she knows if it's something I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say it. It's gonna get said.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not
It's
gonna
gonna
say
get
it,
said,
it is
and I better
absolutely
be
no point.
comfortable because it's gonna be very detailed when she says it.
Yep. But the thing is, she also respects the fact that things I'm not gonna say, it don't matter what you say, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
I'll
And
just,
so
she'll come around.
she know
I'll
eventually
be
I'll
like,
say it.
but sometimes I'll be like, either she will or she won't. Oh, all right. I'm not
But
gonna
see, we have
press
a
it.
healthy respect for each other's boundaries. That's the thing.
Yeah. And it's funny though, but I've seen people, like, even in marriages, just not have no respect for the other's feelings. And there was an example I saw. It was like, the husband always thought it was funny to make, get the guys all riled up while he's making fun of his wife. Like, he'd be
Mm.
like, yeah, what was that little joke? I feel like, was it on Martin? I feel like it was an episode of Martin. I don't know why I use Martin references so much, probably because I know every episode inside and out. But he was like, she burned some, that's what it was. She made a corny joke. She talking about, so you could tell him I cooked it and burnt it and called it Cajun. So she was like trying to make like a fake argument. But in the example that I was reading in the article I read, the wife was just, he would make fun of her cooking in front of his friends. They'd all get a good laugh. So when they got home, she was like, I know you didn't mean any harm, but I really felt sad about you making fun of me in front of your friends, and I would really appreciate it if you didn't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if this is a sensible person, they would be like, oh, wow, I really didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I didn't know you telling. And then maybe it'll open up a conversation for them. But friend, what do you do when this person is a jerk? Because I feel like we've all come across that jerk that we tried to level with, be, forthcoming and just say, I really don't like it when you da 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 da. And they just sometimes respond in not the right way.
Like, let's be real. There are some people who are so self-centered
Mm.
where they genuinely don't care. And then it's like they're so self-centered to where they're not considering the emotions of the other party
At all.
because it made them feel good in the moment that they made the comment. So it
Mm-hmm.
didn't matter how the other
Mm-hmm.
person felt because they were gratified once they got it off their chest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's people who sincerely don't care. And I am definitely a person who, quote unquote, doesn't care, but not to that extreme. I am
Mm-hmm.
considerate of other people when I make a decision to say something. So I know it sounds bad. It's like if I say something, I literally mean the words that I'm saying. So don't
Mm-hmm.
give it extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't give
Yeah.
it extra. I really mean the words that I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing attached to it other than the words that I said.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take those and misconstrue them, that's different. But there are some people who are very spiteful and hateful with their words.
Yeah.
And it's like when they give their words are intended to hurt or harm, and they really don't care that it hurt or
Mm-hmm.
harm, but it makes them feel good. They're gratified. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
gratified. It's some nasty people, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just had a conversation with an ex coworker who was telling me, like, you could tell it's a new lady there, and this is teaching cosmetology, so these are young adults, and I guess she gets real sassy and like slick mouth with the students. And she was like, the students would go to my friend and be like, she got one more time. She got one more time. I'm gonna pop off on her. They trying to maintain that respect because that's their instructor. But then she's also coming at them like, like, well, don't ask me a dumb question more than like stuff like that. And it's like you gotta know, you have to, like you just
Know
said,
when to hold
I
them.
could say something slick to somebody and they'll just laugh and move on because they still know it came from a place of love. But when somebody's being malicious, like you were saying, like you coming from a place of hate, like you're not gonna get the same reaction. Like you and me, if you were coming from a place of hate and I was coming from a place of love, we could say the same thing, but it's gonna come off different and that person's gonna react different to it.
I say some reckless stuff and people laugh. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it gets on my nerves. Not I don't think I know it gets on my nerves. But
What,
it's
when they
like,
laugh?
yeah, when I'm serious and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, bruh, like get on somewhere. I say something like that, like, you a mess, girl. Like
Mm-hmm.
I meant
No,
that.
really, get on somewhere.
Like get on because when I say my words are exactly what they are, like my words are what they are. Like so when people laugh and they giggle when I make certain comments, I'm just kind of like, you know, it's
Mm-hmm.
frustrating. It is frustrating because I am sincere. So it does not always play to my benefit.
Right, right.
Stan,
So go ahead.
I had put it up on the screen. Stan said if you walk through his door, you are subject to the blender. The women are off limits though.
Okay, wait. I got lost. What do you mean?
Unpack that. I don't understand.
I
The
don't
blender.
understand either. You gotta clarify a little line,
Yeah,
a
you
little
got to
more
give
on
us a
that.
little bit on that one. The blender. I'm
Yeah.
guessing get cut
So,
like with the words or get jokes or something maybe. I don't know.
mm,
You're gonna have to clarify because
mm.
I'm probably street wronging that up. Um,
So the fifth type of boundary, say, okay, so we have physical, intellectual, sexual, emotional, and the last one they talked about was financial, like with your money, like your boundaries with your money. Now, I know this could come
Right.
into play, of course, when you have two adults again coming together who had different ways of spending money growing up. It could be a little bump of heads there. But one that I didn't think about that was brought up was like when you're with a group of friends. Like, let's say, we all go out to eat, right? And, if I'm a person who budgets, then I know exactly how much money I have to eat. But then the other parties are maybe spending more money than you, like, and we talked about this on another episode. They were like, "Oh, let's split the bill evenly." Well, I had a chicken noodle soup. You had steak and lobster. I don't think we can split this bill equally. And that is you setting up your financial boundary. But the part about doing that, I think
I would be
sometimes
like, no,
why,
you can put them on the same ticket. Bring me mine.
yeah,
Me and
it,
him. Us. Like, bring me
with our
us.
shared bowl of soup.
Bring me us, please. Bring me us. Mm-mm.
So, but yeah, and of course, like, where else I think financial boundaries have to be set up between parents and adult children.
That part. Yep. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of times, and on both parts, you have it both ways. You have it sometimes where the parents are over being how I'm trying to say it, like they're taking on too much responsibility from somebody who should be taking responsibility off of you because you are now grown. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So like, if your child is 30, like you really shouldn't be paying none of their responsibilities, unless y'all might share a car. Y'all can split the car insurance. Other than that, like by that age, hopefully the financial boundary has been put up where you can't call me every month and tell me you late on the same bill. Because now it's my daggone bill. you know and then I also have seen it where a lot of times the children become more financially stable than the parents, and now it's the parents who need and are often expect like for the child's answer to always be yes. And then also as a child, you feeling like, I can't say no to my mom. I can't say no to my dad. I can't say no to my nana. You know what I mean? Like that. But then inside it's killing you because you want to say no. And it's not even no because I don't have it. I just want to say no. Like, I am here to let all of you know, all of the parties in this family, it is okay to say no. Say
Listen,
no.
I think where I'm guilty is not my parents needing. I'm guilty in the sense of I willingly spoil my parents.
But you just said willingly, so you're not.
Yeah.
That's you. You've created, and I'm pretty sure you still have a boundary on how far you're going to spoil your parents.
I have my if I'm broke, then I'm not.
You're not going to spoil your parents to the point where it puts you in jeopardy.
Right, right. And they probably wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
But I feel like at this phase in my life, I absolutely spoil my parents.
Mm-hmm. That's
But that's
awesome.
it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're hashtag my kids.
I'm done.
Listen, those are my kids. Um, but yeah, I definitely do. But I would say time is a limitation that I don't put boundaries on.
Mm.
Like I was saying earlier,
What do you
like
mean?
like I could be in the middle of doing something. Like I could be in the middle of this show right now. If
Mm-hmm.
if my phone wasn't on do not disturb and they could reach me, and they were like, I need you to come and do blah 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 blah. After the show is over, I will get up and go. I will not know
Okay.
during the show because I am on do not disturb. But if
Yeah,
when I
yeah, yeah.
get off the show and I unmute my phone and there's a notification, even though it'd be like 10 o'clock by the time we get done,
Yeah.
I'll still go.
Yeah.
I'll
Me too.
still get
And
up and
I'm
go.
like that too. And the other thing about me though is I'm probably gonna throw a tantrum the whole time.
And see, I
Yeah,
girl,
yeah.
now see, friend, you
I'm
might
putting
hear it.
on all the theatrics, and then I'm gonna pull up like, "Hey, ma."
Yep, that's how I'm gonna deal with you. I'm be like, friend, do you see what time it is? Do you realize that they got me coming and blah blah blah, and they got me blah blah blah? But then,
Hey,
hi,
mom.
Dad.
Just as what's up?
Hi, giving out hugs and kisses and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Woo. And stuff
Mm-hmm.
like just spreading all the, love and affection and whatnot. But then I'm gonna get back in the car and be like, Kia, I was there for 5 minutes. Five. I go, I went over there for 5 minutes. Like, and that'll be me. But you better believe I'm about to do it because I don't
Yeah.
limit that aspect. And I'm not saying that I necessarily should limit that
Mm-hmm.
aspect, but I definitely should have like some kind of cutoff. Like I can't right now. Like there are times that they'll say, "Well, I guess that's a boundary."
That is
Like
a boundary. If you can't do it right now, or you got to give me a couple days, then yeah.
that's a boundary. Because there was one time, girl, it was hot as all get out outside, and I had just walked in my house. The AC had just hit me in the face, girl. My dad called. He was like, whereabouts are you? You think you could run the store real quick and grab me, blah blah blah, because Grandpa C was getting
Mm-hmm.
ready to fill an order. And
Yeah.
so I was like, well, Daddy, it's hot. And I just got in the all right, Daddy. I was like, Daddy, I'm about to Instacart. I Instacarted that junk right to his house. And I was like,
Oh
Daddy,
yeah.
it's there. It's at the door.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I guess that is a boundary. I was hot and I could not. I couldn't see
It
my
is, but it wasn't, friend, because you still did it.
I didn't do it.
You did. You didn't make your daddy have to go to the store himself.
True.
So
But
you didn't say no.
my line was drawn at walking back out my front door. It wasn't that I didn't want him to
Okay,
have
your
his money at the
your
store.
boundary had a dotted line. It wasn't solid.
Oh, she said that line was not solid, boy. That line was not solid. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I definitely yeah, I guess that was a boundary. Like
Hmm.
I was not going back outside.
Yeah.
That wasn't happening. It was hot. It was hot. So I wasn't going back outside. So I guess that is a boundary.
Mm.
It wasn't a firm boundary. Do you have firm boundaries
Do I?
outside of your
You make
children?
me sound so loose. Do you even have boundaries? You made me sound terrible.
Friend,
Like I'm
friend,
just down for
friend,
whatever. I'm
friend,
ride or
friend,
die. Let's go.
friend,
I ain't got no
friend.
boundaries.
Bring it back. Bring it back in. Friend. Bring it back in. Reel it in. Reel it in.
um, I am a person who, for a very long time, did not have clear boundaries, and I do feel like I still struggle with creating healthy boundaries for myself. And I feel like I'm getting better. I am working better at it. I do realize like I make excuses that I got to help this person so that I'm not doing actually what I should be doing for myself.
Mm,
So yeah, no, I'm totally boundless. I need to start building some more boundaries.
mm. Well, friend, I think we should challenge the viewers to do the same thing. Find
Mm-hmm.
areas in your life that you find yourself blaming other people for your unhappiness in, because
Mm-hmm.
those are probably the areas you need to set some boundaries. Just
Yeah.
be if
Yeah.
there's an area of your life where you're just like, oh, if it wasn't for so and so, I could, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess
Yeah.
what? There's not a boundary there, and you need to put one there because you shouldn't have to. Like, yes, in your marriage, it's give and take, it's sacrifice. And yes, that comes as with everything. But
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't be like it may be a sacrifice to the level of inconvenience, but it shouldn't always be your sacrifice. There we go.
Yeah.
It shouldn't always be your sacrifice. You need to set those emotional boundaries. You need to set your limits as to what you're expecting. And it's not even tit for tat though. That's the thing. It's not because you did, I will. It's not
Yeah.
it is
You'll
definitely
know because you'll start to feel exhausted
yeah, you'll
about a
start
certain
feeling
topic
tired.
or subject or
Right.
area in your life. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, with that being said, hey, if y'all are watching the playback right now, go ahead and drop your comment down below because we appreciate you too. We do see your comments when you leave comments on the playback. We actually have conversations over your comments on the playback. So please, by all means, if you're viewing us on Facebook, if you're viewing us on YouTube, and to again the one or two people who view us on Twitter, y'all the realists, okay? You are some real ones, okay? But friend, for the tip of the week would be just that: set those
I
boundaries.
believe what we just said. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'll
If you
definitely
starting
be
to
it.
feel tired and fatigued in an area of your life, define the boundaries so that you can come up for air in that area.
Yes, it's nothing wrong
Mhm.
with giving, but at some point, you should be able to reap the same benefit. I'm just saying. So, y'all tune in with us next week, friend. Next week is our breast cancer episode.
Okay, dokie.
One way or the other, it's gonna be a breast cancer
Mm-hmm.
episode, y'all. So you
Mm-hmm.
want to be here for that. I'm gonna see if I can get us plugged in somewhere. I know Black Somebody is doing something for breast cancer.
Okay.
So that is our tip of the week, friend. It's for us to figure out a way
Mm-hmm.
that we can get plugged in between now and next Monday. And y'all tune in. Make sure you share with your friends and family to join us on Monday for our special for breast cancer. And if you have a loved one who has fought the fight and won, or even fought the fight and lost, please comment down below their name, and we would love to give them a shout out in next week's outro. So do that, okay?
Yes.
All right. We love you all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Friend, you got anything?
Nope. Good night.
All right, y'all. Good night.